a judge, Judge Judy. Here in our courtroom, we see lots of different cases. And the way it works is when someone is suspected of breaking the law, they are arrested and then brought into my courtroom. Here, there's one lawyer that's trying to tell the side of the story of the person who was arrested, and then there's another lawyer who is trying to prove that they are guilty. After they make their cases, a group of regular people called the jury, they decide if the person is guilty or not. If they're found to be guilty, then I'm the one that determines how justice is served. Sometimes that means that they have to pay a fine or maybe serve the community, and sometimes they have to serve some jail time. But no matter what the court case looks like or how it ends up, there are some things that are always the same. For instance, I am always in charge in my courtroom. If someone gets out of hand, I can tell them to settle down. If they don't settle down, I can have them removed from the courtroom. But along with that authority comes a lot of responsibility. For instance, I have to listen as everyone is speaking to make sure that everyone is treated fairly. I also have to make sure that the suspect has a fair trial. You know, all of this makes me think of a Bible story where Jesus was welcomed as king. To help us think about the story, it's important to ask the right question. The question I want you to think about over the next few weeks is, what did Jesus do to save us? Now, you already may know the answer, but over the next few weeks, listen as you learn more about the answer.
Hi friends, I'm Megan, and I am King Jesse. Well, hello, your Royal Highness. I'm just pretending. I'm not really a king, but you can keep calling me your Royal Highness if you want. I think I'll probably stick with Jesse. Pretending to be a king is fun, but today's Bible story is about a real king. In fact, this king is king over everything. Let me guess, is it Jesus? That's right, Jesse. In today's Bible story, Jesus rode into Jerusalem and the people welcomed him as king. Listen to the story. It was the time of year that the Israelites celebrated Passover. Many Israelites had traveled to Jerusalem to remember what God had done when he rescued his people from slavery in Egypt. Jesus and his disciples also traveled to Jerusalem. He sent 2 of them ahead to a village. Jesus said, "Go into the village ahead of you. There you will find a donkey and her colt tied up. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, you should say that the Lord needs them." The disciples did what Jesus said. They put their robes on the donkey and the colt, and Jesus sat on them. As Jesus came to Jerusalem, a large crowd gathered. The crowd laid their robes on the road. They cut palm branches from trees and laid those on the road too. The crowds walked ahead of Jesus, and those who followed him shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! He who comes in the name of the Lord is the Blessed One, the King of Israel! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" The word Hosanna means save now. The religious leaders didn't like it. They asked Jesus to tell his disciples to be quiet. If they didn't praise me, Jesus said, the rocks would cry out. When Jesus went into Jerusalem, people asked, "Who is this?" The crowds replied, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." They were only half right. Jesus wasn't just a prophet of God. He is God's Son. Jesus went to the temple, and people who could not see and people who could not walk came to him. Jesus healed them. The priests and the scribes at the temple heard children shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David!" The priests and scribes asked Jesus, "Do you hear what these children are saying?" The children were saying, "The King is here! The King is here!" Jesus said, "Yes, Even the children will praise me." Then Jesus left and went to spend the night in the town of Bethany. The people were happy to see Jesus. They knew he was their king. Jesus came riding on a donkey, just as the prophet Zechariah said he would. One day, Jesus will come back, riding on a white horse as king over everything.